Okay, so my name is Mark Sell, and this is for Therapy for the Heart YouTube channel. And what's your name?
Paulo Cremides.
And so what brings you down here this night? And
I knew about the inequality that was happening before Occupy Wall Street. Actually, if you trace history back to the 70s and 60s, inequality has always been part of our history. I just think that, you know, the privatization of public services and things like that, I see it as an outright stealing of public education and, you know, stealing of our tax dollars and using it to fund something that doesn't do anything for us, you know, to fund the job creators and things like that. So I try to do my part by working within the political system to change that, you know, through the dialectic and, you know, shifting positions to the left and, you know, trying to get congressmen to support constitutional amendments to overturn Citizens United and put a public system of campaign financing, because that is one of the biggest problems, is corruption. The corruption of the political system, which in turn permeates our whole society, because when the money talks and money speaks. So that in itself turns it into a whole system of permeating dissolutions with people, and people become apathetic. And I think unless you take to the streets, and historically it has been seen, unless you take to the streets, nothing is going to get done unless you talk about the issues. And there's so many different solutions, and I know a lot of people here don't agree with me, but I think that we can all work together, whether you're an anarchist or a Democrat or a socialist or a Green Party person. I think we can all work together to find a common solution.
You said you were from, you're going to school in Cornell in Ithaca.
Yeah.
So you're down here. That's a fire that has nothing to do with any demonstration right now. Right now, everyone around the park, just to bring people up to date, are waiting to march, but it may be that march is not going to happen tonight. But people are also talking about how there's an expenditure, a huge expenditure, having hundreds of police down here waiting for the march, and so.
And that is a great example of how taxpayer dollars are wasted. That is the way that you see the oligarchy happening, the crony capitalism happening. When the taxpayer dollars are being used to oppress the taxpayers themselves, is when you see that the system isn't working and the system needs reform. So I think this is a great example. If you look at the police over there, they're standing around, they're not doing anything. That is a great example of taxpayer dollars being wasted. People are being murdered right now, probably. There are people in other parts of the city that are under danger, and these guys are sitting here because a bunch of kids are coming out and talking about political dialogue. And what's so dangerous about talking about political dialogue? I don't have a gun in my hand.
There's nothing dangerous about talk.
Yeah.
In and of itself.
I don't have a gun in my hand. I'm not a revolutionary. I'm just a middle class guy. I want to keep Social Security for my parents. I don't want Social Security to be privatized for my grandparents. I want to be able to graduate from college without student debt whatsoever, because I feel like we have to give so much in tax dollars that it should fund public services, and stop using the excuse, oh, there's not enough money for public education. Why is there always more money for war than there is for public education? It's because people manipulate at the top to shift the system for that sort of spending, and they use so many excuses and justifications to do that. But in the end, it comes down to it's stealing people's tax dollars to give it away to rich people. I'll give you a great example: the Bush tax cuts. The Bush tax cuts, we give away $700 billion each year in tax cuts to the 1%. We also give away $294 billion each year in oil subsidies to the 1% and Chevron and other corporations. What did they do? They're not job creators. A job creator is everyone. Everyone who demands a product, everyone who demands something is a job creator. And that's something that we have to start realizing. And the people who don't realize that, well, that's the problem, that they don't realize that. That the problem is people don't realize that we can create jobs better than they can, because we are the ones who demand the products, and they should be at our call. And the lawmakers should realize that too. And I think it's time, you know, a lot of people hate me for saying this, but I want to be one of the people who occupies the Democratic Party.
Okay, well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. And again, this is Mark, and very nice meeting you. This is what, May 23rd, right? 23rd. The evening of May 23rd, 2012. Yes, so let's hope that we can do more, and with people like yourself, we're certainly going to do more. So thanks a lot. Bye-bye.